This is our front yard fountain, and I'm going to try to make a new filter piece for the pump because it's just a little slotted plastic piece, but the water should be coming up about this high, so it should be having considerably more volume than this. Anyway, we'll get this open. First I'll unplug the fountain, and we'll get this open and get some measurements so we can make a new piece so that's big enough so it won't get clogged up all the time. Okay, so with this turned off, we can open up the plate and get the pump out. But yeah, it should be going about that high, and it's just not. And it's because it gets clogged. We've had this for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and the deer really like it. Unfortunately too much, because they'll stomp the plants down around the edges, and we'll have birds getting in here, and also turkeys, which are, you know, huge. Yeah, you can see it just gets clogged up, and it's because it's such a small area. So I could add a different filter piece on there. I could do something like that. I'm going to get some measurements and see what we can do with this. I don't know if I can just pop this piece off or how that's put on there. Yeah, this filter piece is just so thin and small it gets clogged up easily. So, and I don't know how if it just pops off there or what. I'm hoping it will. Yeah, it broke off the little tabs, but I'm not worried about that. So now I'll print something that can fit this space that has small openings, but it's much bigger so that it won't clog up very fast. That's my hope. So I'm guessing this is ABS plastic, which means I can easily glue to it. So I'm going to use this inset area here to make a piece that's much bigger than this for the filtering area. Okay, let's get some measurements. So let's get the diameter first. Okay, so that's 58.8 or 48.8. Okay, it's got 48.61 millimeters. Let's check a couple more places, make sure that it's actually fairly round. 48.57, so pretty close. And then this inside area, that's 44.36. And that's probably true all the way around here. Okay, so I can make a piece that will plug onto there. So that's the plan. So hopefully I'm low enough or high enough. So that's the plan. We'll get all these pieces input. Oh, I need the height here. So the height of that step is 1.89. Let's check it a couple more spots. Okay, 1.61, 1.46. So it's got a variation of heights here. Looks like it's a little bit thicker on this side than this side, but we can certainly make something that'll fit into there, and then I'll plan on just gluing it in there. Okay, well, we'll get something to cover it with temporarily so it can run while we start to build something. And I forgot the obvious piece. The piece that came out of there is a pretty decent fit, so I can use that to help me model it also. And in the meantime, I'm going to put this filter piece over it. And this was from a shop vac, but I can just stuff that whole thing in there, and I'll just kind of staple it around it just to hold it, keep the big junk out of it until I can make that piece. Yeah, just gonna staple it at a few places. Doesn't have to be great. Okay. And that's good that it doesn't have to be great, because that's not. That's good enough for me for now, though. So I'm going to stuff that back in there and get it turned on. Okay, we'll see what we can build for that. So to simplify the printing of this filter piece, I'm going to print it in at least 6 pieces, and it might be 7. So I'll do each of the 4 sides, a top and a bottom, and then maybe an adapter piece. So I'm going to start with simple slabs, and we'll figure out what will work. I'll start with a rectangle, and I'll make it 54.5 millimeters by, let's make it 150 tall. Oh, that's definitely too much. Let's go with 75, not 150. All right. Now, make sure we've got the dimensions approximately right. It's a little less than 3 inches. That should work. Going to offset that by about 5 millimeters. That'll be the strength kind of edges around it. And then go 3 millimeters thick. Get rid of the middle. And I'll add a stiffener down the middle, but I think I'll add the grate area first. And on this side, we'll go to make it work for all the pieces. We'll put a little, oops, I didn't really need that. I just need the pencil. And same thing on the other side. Now we'll put the little grill piece in, and this is, I've got the inside facing up. So 1.2 millimeters. Oh, I'm going to put it up here so we can see that better. So 1.2, and then 2, okay, and then we'll find the center of that. Ba-da-ba-da. And I'll just have a couple filaments wide. So my plan here is I'll have them, each of the openings get wider as they go back. That way they shouldn't clog. Okay. And I don't know how many I need. Then go 3.2. That'll give the spacing. And then times, how many can fit in there? Let's put 15. Oh, wasn't enough. So 4 more will fit. So let's go ahead and put 4 more in there. And times 4. There we go. Oh, perfect. That's fine. Now, do I need to put that bar in there first? I think I can put that in there afterwards. I'll go ahead, and there's probably simpler ways. I guess I probably could have put one in there and then done the array instead of flat. I know how to get things done with this. I know how to eventually get things done with this program, usually by slowly brute forcing it, filling in the gaps. People that know how to use this program could do awesome things with it. And I'm using the one from 6 years ago because it's a standalone one, so I don't have to have internet to do it. I don't like to use the online ones, and I don't like to use rentware. I have no problem paying for a piece of software somebody develops, but I don't do rentals. All right, so that gives, and I have to connect this side still, of course, but that gives a nice spacing, and it's wider on this side, on the inside, so anything that fits through is not going to get stuck. So it should be easy to clean. And that's 44 millimeters wide still. We'll find the center. Okay. And let's go 10 millimeters wide here, so 5 on each side of the line. Let's go ahead and fill this in. And we will intersect faces. Okay. And then get rid of those faces. Do the cleanup. Okay. That's looking good. All right. Now, oops. Yeah, I can get rid of that line. Okay. That gives good strength. It should have good support. It's still got plenty of open space. Should I go a little bit further? All right, so if I make each one of those 20, that only leaves 4.5 millimeters down the middle for support. That's kind of skimpy. I don't want to go that far, so undo both of those. Okay, that leaves 8.5. Let's do that. And these are just numbered. It doesn't really matter. Oh, let's get rid of this extra one. Okay, and then we'll intersect faces again. And then the cleanup. All right, there we go. So I need to print 4 of those. That will be the 4 sides, and we could put them together just to look at it. Make group. All right, I'm going to take 4 of these. And I'm going to go ahead and just put this together temporarily so we can look at it. So 90 degrees, move this one, 180. Oops. $90 that way. Okay, and that one will end up being the top. Let's go ahead and move those to test them. So there's the box. Now let's make a top using this one. Yeah. Okay, now what do we need to do to make this fit here? Okay, let's move this over. 0.75, we'll center it on there. Okay. Now, we'll explode this one. Okay, and then we're going to make this a little bit smaller so it's going to fit. So go in 0.2 millimeters. That should give it plenty of room to snap into place. 0.2. Okay, and how far? What is this, 3? I think this was 3. 3. So we'll add a line across. 3.2. Okay, that's good. Now we need to cut a section out to make it the right size. So the total and as I said, people that know how to do this thing would do it much, much faster and better. I can get them done, I just don't know what I'm doing. So it never looks elegant or anything. And we'll add, oh, I still need to back that other piece out. So that goes up to that line. And this one goes back there, 3. Okay, and then fill this in. So just pull this till it lines up with the other one. Okay. Get rid of the guidelines. Intersect faces. Oh yeah, because they're touching. Okay, well then let's try this. Clean up with last settings. Okay. Oh, it matched beautifully. That's why. Okay, so there's the top. So this one, I need to push another 0.2. All right. Now I can group it. And then move it into place to test fit it.
Okay. There we go. So that all fits. And on the inside, there should be a very slight gap around the edge, and there is. Should be on all four edges. Looks good. I can see it down there. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at it in the X-ray view so we can see if everything looks fine. Yep, it's all down in there. All right. Now we need the bottom for it. And the bottom will be similar to the top. Except it won't have the little louver things. It'll have a round hole. So I'll go ahead and take a copy of this top. And explode that. And then we'll get rid of all these holes. What's the fastest way to get rid of them? Because I need to make a circle here. Let's see. I think maybe let's try the offset tool. And then do another offset. Push that middle layer down. Okay, take this middle stripe, push it down till it touches this surface. Okay, and that will separate the whole inside. Then we can delete it. Okay, there we go. Now we need the center of this. And then we need the hole. And the round opening on this is 48.5 on the outside, so 24.25 for the radius. So let's start with that. Make sure we've got it in the right orientation. So 24. Let's go straight out along one of the edges. 24.25. 24.25. Okay. Because then on the inside of that, the inside diameter piece, the inside diameter one is 43.4. 21.7. Then we can measure that to make sure we've got it right. 43.4. Okay. So that's the inside ring. So that is the ring that's going to match up with the pump. And it needs to come down. These other pieces will be solid. This will go away. These inside pieces can come up. Are we making them hollow? Okay, how far up do we need them? Is there any reason it needs to go up to there? That won't hurt it, so let's do that. Okay, and these have reverse faces right now. Let's correct that. Okay, and then reverse faces. Okay, now we do need to get, oops, oh come on. going to go ahead and see if we can do something with these. Okay. Then I think we'll be able to, yeah, delete that piece, and that will give us the round piece we need. And of course, reverse face. Okay. Reverse face on that. Get rid of that spot. There, now we have the ring. And do that to the other three pieces, the other three sides. So I'm just starting the push-pull, and then pushing down to that area, the bottom edge, so that everything lines up the same. I'm not really worried about which part it is, as long as it's the same level, it doesn't matter. Now, let's check that out. Of course, I need to reverse that one again. Okay, so this is the inside area. That's the circle. That's the piece that it needs the strength. So it's going to come down, but I can also take it up. In fact, I need to. But this direction, it needs to come down 1.8 millimeters to match the rest of it. So 1.8. Now that should sit in that socket area. So let's go ahead and select this face. Make a copy of it. Make it 4.5 millimeters tall. Okay, now I've got that ring. Now I could just remove this ring from here. So we'll just make that go away. Now we've got the ring as a separate piece. We've got all the other pieces. Let's do one more cleanup. Do a solid check. That's fine. The nested instances, that's just the groups that I have. And that's what they should be. Going to make each one of these a group. That way I won't accidentally stick them together or something. Get rid of the extra lines. Take this apart so that it can lay flat. And actually I only need 2 of these. I just need the top and one side, and then just print 4 sides. But I'll go ahead and keep them all for now. Let's rotate each one of them to the printing position. Alright, so that's all the parts I need to print. And if I print them in this orientation, they should print easily. No support needed. These two are an interference fit. The other ones should fit together quite well. That one had a little bit of extra at the top. So I think that's about it. I may have to build another adapter piece in between there, but that should work for the main body of it and this base piece with the hole. So just this ring, and from there down should be the only thing I have to work with or have to change. But I think if I just use ABS glue, I think it'll hold it on there well and have plenty of area for the water to go through. Much more than before. Okay, next, printing it.
Okay, I've already printed these 4. Now I need these 3. I'll go ahead and split the object. So I got all the components. I'm going to go ahead and put it together. Going to just use some ABS plumbing glue and put this together. Not sure how that'll work. Okay. I can add a little bit more glue along those edges to make sure that it's really sealed. I should put that on there right away. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, the same thing on this end. So that should act as a very good screen for that pump. And before it had less than half of a circle's worth of opening of slits. Now it'll have all of that. And then this is the adapter ring. So I'll glue this ring to the pump first and then glue this to it. So like that. I'll see how that works. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue along those edges. Now we'll get that out to the pump. So I'll turn the pump off. Bunch of gunk. So I definitely need to have a filter system on the incoming water. Get that cleaned out. Now we'll check the new filter piece. See how that lines out. Ooh, that looks good. Okay. So that's a good fit. Yep, I can glue that right on there. I'm going to go ahead and glue that into place first, and then I'll put the glue around this pieces, glue it right to it. Gonna let that set up for another hour or something, and then we'll put it back in. I should go ahead and put this filter back around it. Maybe add a rubber band here. I'll get a rubber band for that, just to hold that into place. Okay, now it's got a big area of filtration. Go ahead and get that connected back on. And get it tossed back in there. Got to refill the bowl a bit. I'll get that plugged back in.
Bye.